If by now you still do not understand that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is going to be a one-term president, if you still do not understand this statement of fact, it means that you are not politically informed in Nigeria. It means that you do not understand the power of coalition. Just in the last 24 hours, the coalition in unity unveiled a new political platform, a new political party, from which a new presidential flag bearer will emerge, who will undoubtedly remove President Bola Ahmed Tinubu come 2027. Before we get into the bigger details, in the year 2013, Alhaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu came together with Alhaji Atiku Abubakar in collaboration further with General Muhammadu Buhari as well as Rotimi Amechi. There were other key players in that coalition that was formed in that year. All was in preparation for the 2015 presidential election, which eventually removed Goodluck Jonathan from office. It was in that coalition that APC was given birth to, which stemmed from Action Congress of Alhaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu, CPC of Muhammadu Buhari, as well as some members of APGA and some members of AMPP. Thereafter, the coalition gave them the numbers they required, as well as with other propaganda that bedeviled the administration of President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. You know what I'm talking about, precisely the issue with Boko Haram, insecurity, and all of that. It was politicized, and this crept into the hearts of many Nigerians, alongside the fact that this coalition of APC then had already given them the numbers they wanted. Eventually, Goodluck Jonathan was taken out of office. I can tell you, by 2027, history is about to repeat itself in Nigeria.
APC Comot for road, APC don't come, you no get the APC don't come, APC Comot for road, APC don't come, we no get the APC don't come.
If you have already seen the video clips making rounds on the internet space, you will understand that at that coalition in unity, at that unveiling ceremony, that who is who, the big wigs in the political hemisphere of Nigeria, I can mention but a few. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar was there. Rufai was there. David Mark was there. Ogbeni Aregbesola was there. Ihedioha from the southeastern part of Nigeria was there. Peter Obi was there. Dino Melaye was there. Tambuwal was there. There are countless number of political bigwigs that made their presence to that very coalition, telling you that irrespective of their different political parties, they have decided to throw their differences together to come together in order to salvage this country. I don't want to dwell on their individual portfolios and, track records and all of that. I may not agree with all their ideologies and all the things they have done in the past. But one thing is the mission. The mission is to save Nigeria from the calamity of APC. APC have governed Nigeria in the last 10 years. Buhari did 8 years. Tinubu has done 2 years already. And yet, the same story continued. In fact, Muhammadu Buhari plunged this country into economic turmoil, which Tinubu himself admitted that he inherited a dead horse, from President Muhammadu Buhari, and we are still in that quagmire up to today, because Tinubu claimed he prepared for 30 years, but he didn't prepare for governance. He only prepared on how to win election, how to grab election, but never prepared on how to dish out the dividends of democracy to Nigerians at large. Hence, the need for this coalition to come together. Now, let me tell you, for those of you who do not know, if you study the statistics of the 2023 presidential election, Tinubu was announced the winner with about 8 million votes, Atiku with about 6.9 million votes, and Peter Obi was announced with about 6.1 million votes, even with all the riggings, all the abracadabra. Now, imagine in this coalition what will happen when you bring together the numbers, of the grassroots supporters of Atiku and that of Peter Obi, merge them together. You will see that Not even INEC will be able to rig this election this time because the numbers will be very much overwhelming. I've said it before and I'm saying it again. 2027 will mark the end of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's regime or tenure as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, because certainly this coalition possesses the force, the technicalities, the manpowers, the big wigs, the grassroots support that will ooze him out of office come that very year, God sparing our lives. Therefore, in conclusion, what is very pertinent at this very material time is who becomes the presidential flag bearer of this very new coalition under the platform of ADC, African Democratic Congress. If you ask me, I will say it over and over again. Mr. Gregory Peter Obi remains the viable, most marketable candidate to be the presidential flag bearer. I don't want to know wherever or who becomes the vice, but so long Peter Obi becomes the face of that very coalition in the end, I can tell you over and over again that Alhaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu will become a history come the year 2027. We need somebody, a man with a credible, impeccable character to lay the foundation of the new Nigeria that we are clamoring for. A Nigeria where rule of law will prevail. A Nigeria where equity, justice and fairness will prevail. A Nigeria where due process will become a tradition. So that all this abracadabra, all this rascality, squandermania, budget padding, stealing every now and then will at least, we can save money to dish out dividends of democracy to Nigerians home and abroad.
Who controls both the rich and the poor. When he moves, there's an exodus. When he speaks, there's a revelation. And when he decides to act, there will be tsunami. Loved by Nigerians from all walks of life. Two-time governor of Anambra State. The leader of the Obi movement. Known simply as Peter Obi.
However, there are challenges. As beautiful as this very coalition may seem or may look, there are challenges. Already, I can see from the internet space that the former presidential candidate of ADC, African Democratic Congress, one Mr. Dumebi Kachuku, is already going around saying that Atiku is playing backdoor politics. So disagreement is already setting in. Acrimony is already setting in. And there are chances, according to public opinion, that this man may also be sponsored, you know what I mean, by the opposition. These are speculations. And not only that, you know what I mean, and not only that, all the members of this coalition should have it at the back of their mind that what played out in Labour Party, what played out in PDP is going to repeat itself in this new, political platform, ADC. The opposition is going to plant the likes of, Apapa, the likes of Arabambi. There will be division, there will be acrimony, there will be unrest, there will be some litigations. So they should prepare themselves and bring up strategies on how to ward off men like this, either to delist them and sack them appropriately from the political party when the time be. You know what I mean? And more so, for some persons who will be saying, how will this coalition remove Alhaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu? I've told you people before. Now, I'm regarding to it as a prophetic statement. Prophetically, all the governors where you see that they come from PDP to APC, even Labour Party, senators, watch and see how many of them will still they come back. Currently, APC controls about 23 states in Nigeria, and PDP controls about 10 states. Labour Party has 1 state, AMPP has 1 state, and APGA has 1 state. In the end, considering the type of force that is coming from this coalition, who and who that are part and parcel of the planning, all of these people you see, all the political jobbers, all of them are still going to come back to this very platform because it's going to be massive. The wave is going to be massive. Nigerians are clamoring for change, and as a governor is decamping, governor is not decamping with the people because power belongs to the people. They will smile and collect your money, but on the day of election, the same way the wave of P2B in 2023, flourished across the width and breadth of Nigeria, it is still going to happen in 2027, so long P2B becomes the presidential flag bearer. So a lot is going to happen, and we will continue to throw more light into this very, discourse that is currently making rounds the whole of Nigeria, home and abroad. And I can tell you, I'm personally happy that, these men were able to disagree and agree to come under this very umbrella of ADC to pull up a force that will be too much for APC to rig out. It remains almost impossible. And God sparing our lives, other areas will be taken care of, which is INEC. You know what I mean? Because most of these men you see, like I said, I don't want to judge any of them by their, past records, but they understand the mathematics of how elections are being rigged, how election malpractices are being conducted in Nigeria. So they are going to be very useful, beautiful tools to make sure that APC is deterred from manipulating and rigging the election in the end. Well, at this point, as always, I will allow you guys to be the judge. Don't forget to let me know what you think in the comment section and share this video. My another person, Siam. God bless you.